Welcome back to another episode of Reimagining Food in Healthcare. We have Aaron Mayer back. My man.
Let's go.
Good to see you.
Here now you have a specific menu that is custom to your allergies before you even tell us what you have. Your preferences, if you don't eat pork, we're not going to show you pork. Your food will come out the exact same way, the exact same temperature every day, and you will have choices to choose from. You're not going to be pigeonholed into one option or told what you're going to be eating in this unfamiliar space. You have more freedom over what you're choosing to eat.
Now, Aaron, here's something I heard. Can I share it with you?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Converting an office building into a nursing home, the most expensive part isn't the medical equipment. It's the commercial kitchen. A single fire suppression system can cost $50,000 before you even buy a stove. Did you know that?
I did.
Oh.
I did. Yeah, kitchens are expensive. Last time I spoke about labor, which is enormously expensive, but also the equipment, the upkeep, the maintenance of an industrial kitchen is outrageously expensive. That's why you see a lot of these new micro kitchens or small things popping up like cloud kitchens and areas where people are like cooking in small areas or sharing community spaces. So yeah, it's a big endeavor for someone to take on kitchen expense.
Cloud kitchens. Is that the same as ghost kitchens you're talking
Yeah,
about with
same,
restaurants?
yeah, similar
okay.
things. Yep.
Mr. Beast, I know he has a lot of those.
Yeah, heard of that.
Yeah. You eat his food?
No, I haven't.
It's all right. Anyway, let's keep moving on, Aaron. Let's keep moving on. But before we started filming, you were telling me about your background in food service automation. And it actually sounded a little fascinating to me, especially the robotic side of things, right? Could you walk us through maybe what that actually looks like in practice?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of effort going into automating food service, whether it's restaurants, healthcare. There's been a lot of work done, and there's a lot of work coming. I was working specifically with a robotics food service automation company where we had the robots that would deliver your food to your table. People have probably seen these out. And the thing that I think we wanted to talk about is like there's a lot of companies doing really good things and just mixed efforts to small parts of the problem. For example, robotics in food service, they only solve just a piece. So if you're bringing food to the table, you're solving some of the labor problems where you don't have to have as many servers on the floor delivering food. But you still have a lot of mess in the back of the house, and there's still a lot of unpredictable things that could happen inside that kitchen operation. So one of the things, like there was a lot of challenges in the robotics automation space where no matter how you look at it, you're still relying on people to make sure things are flowing smoothly. So you got these robots where you still need people to push the buttons. You still need people to be trained how to use them. And no matter how much you train, you might train one person on the staff, but they might be gone the next week, and now you have to train another person. And it's just like that revolving door strikes again, and now you're back to square one.
Okay. I know for people in my age group, and maybe even yours, I don't know your age, let me not guess. Anyway, there is this fear that robotics is pushing people out. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I think there's a time and place for everything.
Okay.
Just like our solution, we serve frozen food, and it's heated in an appliance that's really smart and intelligent, and we have a software component as well. It's not for everything. You're not going to find our solution in these fine dining senior living homes where people pay buco bucks to live in. The ones that you'll have white tablecloths and fancy silverware, and you're getting served filet mignon. We know that that's not our space. Same thing with automation. It's like if you're going to a casual restaurant or if you're dining somewhere that you don't expect to get world-class, top-notch service, there's a little bit of sacrifice and give and take, but it doesn't fit. It's not cookie cutter. Our solution, we think, for a lot of institutional healthcare dining, it fits the mold really well.
Back to this healthcare. What is the solution if you're not installing more robots in these nursing facilities? Because that freaked me out for a second there. I was a little worried.
Yeah, so a lot of times, like you and I, when we come across automation in the wild, and we see it a lot, like You see it in restaurants where you're ordering food on a tablet. You see it in Chili's.
Chili's does it all the time.
Yeah, and a lot of people love it. It's not necessarily bad. It depends on what your take is. A lot of people envision and they deal with the automation. What we're delivering is more of a silent automation, and it's behind closed doors. We want to enable our operators to have a smoother day. So we're enabling behind the scenes. We're innovating and automating behind the scenes. Like Sophia was talking about, let us be your kitchen. We're producing. We're going to allow you to have uber amount of choices and all these different varieties for your customers, your clients. Same thing with our software platform that we'll speak about is we really enable our operators to leverage the patient data and iterate on that and basically decide and give choices to their patrons on what they're going to be eating for that day. There's so many nuances into patient and client preferences, allergies, specific types of diets. We talked about how food service is just messy in general. Mm-hmm. Once you start going down a pathway of like specifications on plates and allergies, it's a huge thing to conquer. And right now, our solution, what we've built, makes it really easy to just navigate that space.
Huh. Well, now I'm a little bit more excited, Aaron. Okay. It's a little wild to think about, but just to be clear, we're talking about great-grandma Mary here. She's not going to have to worry about dealing with tablets or anything like that. Nothing electronic. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
Our solution is built not for the end user to have to deal with it or fuss with it, but they get all the benefits. So the idea is our solutions, our automations, it's not robots, it's not tablets. It's basically the tech is in the back. Our whole founding mission is to reuse the people for more people things, reallocate the resources, have them handle those hard people tasks. And in the back, we have really simple software solutions that you could basically operate your whole kitchen and your dining program with a few touches of a button.
So what I'm hearing, Aaron, is people in the front, tech in the back. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, like we've discussed in earlier episodes, there's really three main pieces to our system and solution. There's the food aspect that we had Sophia talking to, and then we mentioned a little bit about these heating units. It's by no means is it anything close to a microwave. These are intelligent heating units that specifically heat up the food to proper temperatures every single time. So you're not getting like watery, gooey kind of weird textures in your food. And then the last piece that kind of ties it all together is the software aspect, which controls how the food goes in, when it comes out. It also controls your whole basis and your population that you're serving, all the messy details that comes with it. So it's your allergies, it's your diets, it's your personal preferences, all the little nuances that come with one person being admitted into this establishment. Think of it almost as like a restaurant point of sale system where you see commonly in restaurants you and I have both worked in where you're placing orders and ringing up checks, but a lot more intricate and a lot more simple to use. I know it kind of sounds contradicting, but we make it really simple.
You know what surprised me when I was sharing that stat earlier, right? When we mentioned that just the fire suppression system for a commercial kitchen can cost $50,000. That's a lot of money, Aaron. $50,000. Now walk me through the economics of traditional kitchen infrastructure versus your approach.
Yeah, and just to note, $50,000 is nothing for an institutional commercial kitchen. Okay. When you stand up a kitchen, that's just one piece. Some of these ovens cost over $25,000. A lot of tech involved in those. And don't get me wrong, they're still needed places. But our solution is a lot different. So we have the food aspect, which is a separate cost. You pay for what you get. You order and you receive food and you pay for it. But then the systems that we deploy at that location, that is a reoccurring, like a lease, think of it as. So you're paying a subscription for the services that we provide, basically, which would be in lieu of a kitchen, which is a lot cheaper. And that's a little bit of a different conversation for another day. But it's a lot less expensive to run an operation, and there's a lot less risk.
So, Aaron, the world is faster than ever. We love technology. Some of these facilities, some might say, are swimming in technology, correct? So why has this never been done? What's been the holdup, Aaron?
Yeah, it's a really, really good question. And to be totally honest with you, there's been a tremendous amount of work that we've put in to all the pillars of our product, our systems, our food. And I think part of it is that we need to blow up the system and rebuild it again. People are a little afraid of letting go of the old system and how we did things. The hiring chefs and prep cooks and ordering raw ingredients and formulating recipes and building these big production books and these complex food service operations. And people are afraid to let go of quality and a little bit of that like human touch with preparing food. But we really put together a team of experts that understand the intricacies of these healthcare operations. And I feel really confident that what we've built still addresses the quality and the seamlessness that the operators need, but without having to stand up that full complex operation. So to answer your question more bluntly, I think people are a little scared to jump off the ledge a little bit, but there has to come a time that we revolutionize this industry, because we cannot keep leaning and demanding these resources that just aren't available.
But Plated Foodservice is not afraid.
Oh, not at all. I think what we've developed enables all of our operators that we're currently working with and that we will work with in the future to redeploy their resources in a more valuable way. Let us handle the food. Let us handle the admission systems of how you onboard new patients and customers. You use your people to deliver an exceptional dining experience and leverage all of our options and all of our tasty food that we create to your end user. You don't need to stand up this complex, messy kitchen that's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars and eventually breaks, and you have all these issues. So use the tech. We have this turnkey solution that is going to make your operation seamless. You might as well use it.
We've all dealt with some technology that was very frustrating. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't matter how smart we are. It doesn't work, Aaron. Okay. And we're talking about facilities that you mentioned have high turnover. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You did say that. So how do you know that your tech solution isn't just creating a different can of worms?
Yeah. The way we've built our solution is to kind of cut out as much human error as possible. Availability for human error. So the food's coming in frozen, it's stored frozen, it's stored on site, it's local. Our software solution is so easy that any department, anyone can use it. We're talking, if you have a food service department, they can use it. If it's your nursing staff, they can use it. Your rehabilitation staff, housekeeping, anyone. It's a really simple terminal where it's like almost like a kiosk where you're basically entering information, you're preparing food. The heating appliance, the unit that we use, is so simple that you basically get told where you're loading food, and it knows exactly what to do. It's super smart, and we've really been testing this over the past months and years, where we've really been testing this to kind of make it foolproof, because we want it to be really assimilating and not hard to digest.
Now, if I were to walk into one of these facilities using your system, like on a day-to-day, what exactly would I see? What's happening in the traditional kitchen with your system, Aaron?
Yeah, so the best way for me to walk you through this, Jalen, is like, I'm going to give you the two scenarios. So let's say you're in a nursing home and you were admitted, and you're having your first meal, right? You're in this unfamiliar space. You don't have any friends there yet. You just got brought there by family, and they said bye, and you're feeling like, whoa, what's going on?
Overwhelmed.
In a traditional environment, you'll probably be greeted by some wait staff, and you'll be asked, you'll be told, here's what's on the menu today, and you're gonna probably have one or two options, maybe if you're lucky, depending on where you got placed, and they're gonna put that order in. The kitchen's gonna cook it and make whatever food that you order. So that's relying on all that back of house staff we talked about, your chefs, your prep cooks. Mind you, whatever you have that first day might be different the second day or the third day, and you might not have too many options. Your food's going to be served. You'll finish your meal, whether you like it or not. In this operation, where you have plated food service, I imagine you being admitted in and still being greeted by a person. But here now you have a specific menu that is custom to your allergies before you even tell us what you have, your preferences. If you don't eat pork, we're not going to show you pork. If you don't like strawberries, there won't be strawberries. Whatever it is that you have your preferences on, we will dial in the menu to you. So we have this intuitive platform that will look at what you like and what you don't like, and it will spit out recommendations. And then your food will come out the exact same way, the exact same temperature every day. And you will have choices to choose from. You're not going to be pigeonholed into one option or told what you're going to be eating in this unfamiliar space. You have more freedom over what you're choosing to eat.
That sounds pretty good, Aaron.
The thing is, with your consumer experience is going to be a little different. And you should feel no friction on a consumer experience piece. But when we're talking about the back of house friction and the operators and the stakeholders that are actually keeping the lights on in the establishment, they're going to feel the biggest difference. Because the difference between an institutional kitchen and plated food service is an institutional kitchen, you might be a nurse that comes in just to work your normal shift. And you're coming in and you're hearing, oh, there were call outs in the kitchen today. Now the nursing staff have to pick up the slack because the kitchen's not delivering. Maybe they have to go in and start helping the kitchen get these foods ready. Whereas with plated food service, you're not relying on all the people and the intricacies and everyone to show up that day. You have the system that's there ready to use, and anyone could just turn it on at the switch of a button. So there's no more headache. There's no more stress about getting to work and making sure everyone's there to do their job. It's all there. It's all ready to go. And there's a lot less risk.
So, Aaron, I think I'm caught up on the 3 pillars. We're talking food, software, and hardware. Correct?
Yep. Not just those 3, but how all 3 work together to really deliver an end-to-end food service solution for any operator to deploy with no kitchen required.
That's what I like to hear. Aaron, always good talking to you.
My pleasure, Jalen.
I heard Carolyn's coming back. Did you hear that?
I did.
Good to see. All right. Well, thank you again for watching Reimagining Food in Healthcare. Tune in for the next episode.